As we have discussed, load frequency problem, as we are aware that in the synchronous generator, as the load increase on the generator, the speed of the generator decrease, and due to that the frequency of the system drop. So when we are talking about power system, it is not allowed that the system frequency can be changed. So for that we have governors which will move the characteristic of the turbine upward or downwards depending on the condition and maintain the system speed, that means the system frequency at a same place. So this is the basic philosophy of load frequency control. So for discussing load frequency control and its various method, we are considering a two bus system which is having two generator S1 and S2, and they are supplying load 1 and load 2 with the help of this tie line. So load 1 and load 2 is connected at S1 and S2 with the help of tie line. So when there is a change in load 1 or load 2, there will be a change in the frequency of the system. So we require a control strategy. On the basis of this control strategy, we are having various types of control system. First is a flat frequency control system. So flat frequency control system is that all the changes is taken care by one unit. That means either load 1 change or load 2 change, all the load change will be taken care by one of the system, that is either by S1 or either by S2. So that is known as flat frequency control unit. S1 will regulate and S2 will remain constant, and all the changes in S1 or changes in S2 will be controlled with the help of tie line. If the load is changing at load 1 or load 2, that means only we are changing only one generator system and we are not affecting the second generator unit, that is known as flat frequency control system. Then we have second method, which is known as parallel frequency control or parallel frequency regulation system. And in this, the load which is changing will be shared by both the units. That means if load 1 change, power of S1 and power of S2 both will be changing, and that will be known as parallel frequency regulation, because parallelly we are controlling all the units. So that is parallel frequency regulation, means load is controlled by all the units present in the system. Then we have a flat tie line loading control. In this, the load which is changing will be controlled by that particular area in which the load is changing. That means if load 1 is changing, it will be controlled by S1, and if load is changing at load 2, then it will be controlled by S2. That means the tie line power will remain constant because there is no change in tie line power which is flowing in the system. So these are the three methods. Then we have selective frequency control. It will be when frequency is controlled to central system and other are controlled basis of the system frequency and the tie line loading. That means we will create a control system, central system, which will be controlling all the changes in the system, and on the basis of that change, all other buses, generators and tie line will be controlled. So that is selective frequency control, in which each system take care of load change in its own system. So that is selective frequency control. So every system will be taking care of load changes which will be occurring in its own system. And then second is tilide load bias control, that will be interconnected and in regulating frequency. That means all the system will be taking part in the tie line load bias control, and no single unit operation will be there. So these are the methods which are used for load frequency control. So let's consider a case. We have this characteristics of AA and BB. We have two systems which are working, two regulators. These are tie-line loading system, and then it is a frequency. Now let's consider that S1 load, that means load at S1 is increased. And because of this increase in load at S1, the frequency will be decreased. And due to this decrease, we have to control at S2. We will be controlling at S2. And with the help of governors, we will be increasing generation to restore the frequency of the system. So this is the basic philosophy which we will be using for load frequency control. So now we will be discussing the basic philosophy which will be considered for load frequency and reactive power voltage control method. These are two methods. LF means load frequency control and QV means reactive power voltage control. First, we will be going through what is these load frequency and reactive power control. If you study synchronous machines, synchronous generators, the active power which is supplied by the generator will be depend on the internal machine angle delta, and it is not dependent on the voltage. And the bus voltage of the generator will be depending on the machine excitation, that means reactive power of the system, that is means Q, and it will be not depending on the angle delta. That means LF and QV control are considered independent because we are talking about small changes in the power. It is not very large change in the power. We are saying that there is a small change in load, due to that there will be change in frequency, or there is a slight drop in the voltage, due to that there is a change in reactive power of the system. So these two methods are considered independently. They are not affecting each other. Means when we are controlling load frequency, it will be not changing anything in QV, and if we are controlling QV, then it will be not changing LF. And they are also, they can work independently or parallelly. We can work LF and QV on the same system. So when there is a change in the machine angle delta, then there will be a change in the speed, and that means the frequency of the system. That's why the active power is directly proportional to the frequency, and reactive power is directly proportional to voltage bus, or you can say frequency is dependent on active power and bus voltage is dependent on reactive power. That's why we are saying that load, that means active power, frequency control, and reactive power, voltage control. So this is the basic philosophy which will be happening in the load frequency and reactive power voltage control. This is the basic diagram which will be for load frequency and QV and LF control. So this is the basic generator which we want to control. As you can see, we have two parts of this control. One is this, one is this. This is your QV control, and then second is this. That is your, so this is your QV control, and this is your load frequency control. And you can easily see that these are two separate parts. They are not dependent on each other. This is not affecting this, and this is not affecting this. So this is your generator, which is supplied by a field, and this is the power which we are getting in the system, and there is load which is supplied. So now we are saying that there is a change in active power and reactive power of the load. That means there is a change in the system output. So that is delta PGI and delta QGI. That are the changes in reactive power and active power. So for controlling this QV control, we will be sensing the voltage of the system. So with the help of this change in the voltage, sensing the voltage, we will getting and compare it with the reference, we will be getting that there is a change in the voltage, that is delta VI. So with the help of this delta VI, we will be having a QV controller, which we will discuss in detail in later. Then it will be controlling the excitation of the system generator, and with the help of this excitation, we will be changing the output voltage of the generator. So this is the basic philosophy of a QV control. And then we have a load frequency control. So this is your generator. So there is a frequency sensor which will be sensing the frequency and detect if there is a change in frequency. And then we have a load frequency controller which will be sensing the change in the frequency, and on the basis of that, it will send a signal to the turbine to control the valve, and the valve will be open or closed depending on the change in frequency. So the steam input of the turbine will be increased or decreased. So the output speed of the steam turbine will increase or decrease, and then it will be changing again the frequency and restore the frequency to the new value. So this is the basic philosophy of load frequency control. So these are two independent parts. One part is generator QV control, and second part is generator VF control. So these are the two philosophies which we will be using for controlling the system. So briefly, we are discussing that what is happening in QV control. So in QV control, it is actually a voltage controller. So first we will be step down transformer, step down potential transformer. This will be step down potential transformer. So we will be stepping down this voltage of the generator, and then we will be check or compare voltage with voltage reference. So for every system there will be a voltage reference. So we will be controlling and comparing this voltage reference with the actual voltage of the system, and if there is a change, it will be sent to rectifier signal, which will be controlling this AC voltage to DC voltage, and then we will be comparing, and then a voltage error signal will be generated. And this voltage error signal will be amplified and field will be modified. That means, or you can say, field current will be modified according to this change, and that will change the voltage of the generator. So this is the basic philosophy of QV control. So we have this voltage sensor, then we have a QV controller. That means we will be rectifying the signal, converting it into AC to DC, then compare it, and then we will be generating a voltage error signal, and then on the basis of this voltage error signal, we will be amplify this signal, and we will be change the field current which will be applied in the field of the generator to change the voltage of the generator. So this is the basic philosophy of QV control.
तो सर इसमें वोल्टेज को चेंज कर कर वोल्टेज ही चेंज कर रहे हैं लास्ट फील्ड करंट की हेल्प से, तो डायरेक्टली क्यों नहीं कर देते हैं? स्टार्टिंग में स्टेप डाउन ट्रांसफार्मर नहीं, स्टार्टिंग में अपन स्टेप डाउन ट्रांसफार्मर में से वोल्टेज चेंज कर रहे हैं, फिर वोल्टेज एरर सिग्नल प्रोड्यूस करवा रहे हैं, फिर उससे जो एरर आ रहा है वो करंट को मतलब कुछ उसमें करंट में चेंज आ रहा है, फिर जो करंट में चेंज आ रहा है तो ऑटोमेटिकली वोल्टेज में भी आ जाएगा। तो डायरेक्टली फील्ड करंट को चेंज करने का मतलब चेंज करने का कोई और तरीका नहीं है क्या?
नहीं, फील्ड करंट डायरेक्टली चेंज करना है क्योंकि ये एक्चुअल सिस्टम है। आप डायरेक्टली कैसे चेंज करोगे और किस बेसिस पे करोगे? तो फर्स्ट यू हैव टू मेजर कि जो आपका वोल्टेज है सिस्टम का उसमें कितना चेंज इज रिक्वायर्ड। तो उसको चेंज करने के लिए स्टेप डाउन तो इसलिए किया है क्योंकि जो वोल्टेज एक्चुअल वोल्टेज है वो बहुत ज्यादा है, क्योंकि जनरली जब हम पावर सिस्टम की बात करते हैं तो जो वोल्टेज जनरेट होता है दैट इज इन केवी। तो उस केवी को मेजरेबल क्वांटिटीज में कन्वर्ट करने के लिए वी हैव यूज्ड स्टेप डाउन ट्रांसफार्मर टू स्टेप डाउन, एंड देन वी यूज रेक्टिफायर फॉर कन्वर्टिंग देम टू एसी टू डीसी। क्योंकि कंपेरेटर्स जो अवेलेबल है जनरली सिस्टम में दे आर डीसी कंपेरेटर्स and their accuracy is more as compared to the AC regulators comparators. So for that we are converting these into DC to AC to DC, and then we will be comparing, or on the basis of that we will be controlling the field. जैसा आपने लैब में एक्सपेरिमेंट किया होगा, अगर किया है तो मशीन लैब में जब हम एक्सपेरिमेंट करते हैं तो हम पावर को चेंज करने के लिए, स्पीड को चेंज करने के लिए रेगुलेटर यूज करते हैं, रजिस्टर। तो वो रजिस्टर को हम क्या करते हैं, कम ज्यादा करते हैं, उससे फील्ड करंट को कंट्रोल करते हैं। तो वो मैनुअल मेथड है, उसको ऑटोमेटिक करने के लिए वी हैव यूज दिस रेक्टिफायर। सॉरी, नेटवर्क डिस्कनेक्ट हो गया था। हाँ, क्लियर है या अभी भी बात कुछ है कंफ्यूजन? हेलो, कंफ्यूजन क्लियर है या अभी भी है कंफ्यूजन? So this is the basic philosophy which we will be using for QV control. Then we have this load frequency control. The load frequency control is actually the controlling of your turbine speed. Actually, we are controlling the turbine speed we are controlling the turbine speed of the system. For controlling the turbine speed, we will be controlling the steam input. So for this, we are using governors. So it is simply to control the valve which will be connected at the steam input of the turbine, and on the basis of that steam input we will be controlling so this is governors. So now we will be discussing the governors in detail. So that is not a speed governor or a speed governing system. So a speed governing system, we have So this is the basic diagram of speed governing system. So for clarity, I will be showing you the so this is the basic turbine speed governing system. You can see that there are basically 4 parts in this system. One is this speed governor. Second is this hydraulic amplifier. Third is this your speed changer. And then this is your complete control system. So I am just first describing basically how this will be working. This is the actual system speed governor which is connected to your generator. So this will be sensing the speed of the generator. This is connected to that shaft. So with the help of this, when there is a change in this frequency, this will be moving upwards or moving downwards. And this point is your reference point. So this will be your reference point which will be changing the reference speed of the system. To increase or we will be lowering it, and to decrease we will be upping. So this is like we have this 2 system. To control, so we have either we will be moving upward or moving downward. So this will be A point will be moved upward if we want lower speed, and this point A will be moved downwards if we want to increase the speed. And this are opposite. When A will be lowered, E will be also lowered. And if we want to A is upward, then this E will also move upward. This is like this. We have 2 shaft. If we move one shaft upward, then that will second shaft will also move upward. This is like this. If we move this point to lower, this point will also move lower. And if we move this point upward, this will also move upward. And when this point E will move upward, the steam input to the turbine will be lower. And if we move this E point downwards, the steam input to the turbine will be increased. So this is the basic philosophy of turbine controlling, that we will be moving this shaft upward or downwards depending. If we are changing that, this is not, so we are only considering that we have changed the reference speed of the generator. So if it is lowered, then we move this E point upward, and if we want to increase the speed of the generator, then we will be moving this E point to downwards. So this is the basic philosophy, that we will be moving this point up and down. This is like this. If we move this point downwards, both the points will move downwards. And if we move upward, so both the points will move upward. So this is the basic philosophy of this control. Now, there is this control basic depending on the frequency of the system, that means the speed of the system. So this part is sensing the speed of the system, and on the basis of this B point will be moved downwards or move upwards. This A point will remain fixed. A point will not move. So A point will remain at a particular point, and then you will moving the B point upward and downward depending on this. If the speed is increased, this will be moving downwards, and if the speed is increasing, then it will be moving upward. And now on the basis of this point B, this D point will also be moved. So if we want to positive movement, then it will be moved downwards, and if we want negative movement, that means to reduce the speed, we want D to move upward. So this is the basic philosophy how we will be operating. This is a hydraulic amplifier. So you can see that this is the oil which will be controlled. This we have filled oil. When we move this D point upward, so when we move this D point upward, then these 2 points will be moved upward, and your oil will be flowing from upward direction. And then due to this upward direction movement, this main piston will be moved downwards, because we have taken oil from upward direction. And if this D point is lowered, then we will be having this D point lower, then your oil will be flowing from this down point. And then on the basis of this down point, your piston will be moved up. And due to this movement upward, we have this valve movement upward, that means steam input will be reduced and this turbine speed will be decreased. So this is how basically this governor will be working. We will again discuss this movement, how this will be working in the next class again. So it will be easily clear to you how this will be working. So this is the basic philosophy, how we will be controlling that speed governor. So this speed governor has, as I have told you, that this have 4 major parts. First is speed governor. Second is your linkage mechanism. Third is your hydraulic amplifier. And fourth is your speed changer. So these are the basic part of this speed governing system. We will be again discussing this in the next class. Bye.